The year is 2015. I'm scrolling on YouTube looking at what videos pop up in my For You feed, and I come across something I've never seen before. In the video, Archie, Maxie, and Steven Stone are singing Everybody by the Backstreet Boys. This video has since been deleted, and I actually searched for it for this project. However, I did find another one that's really close. Instead of Steven Stone, this one has Lysander. Needless to say, this was my introduction to the Pokemon MMD genre. Miku Miku Dance was released in 2008. It actually became a very popular tool where people would bring in specific characters from different franchises and have them dancing and singing to different songs. Of course, Pokemon quickly became one of the subjects for MMD videos. However, at this time, Pokemon still had not had in-game models of their characters, so whenever someone wanted to make an MMD video of Pokemon, they'd have to create their own models. One well-crafted model would be this Dawn model used in the Gomon Boy video. This is actually before the Diamond and Pearl remakes would bring her model into the 3D realm. So the fact that this looks so good means someone took a lot of time and effort to make sure it worked out very well. The Pokemon Live Annie also received a very well crafted model, as you see it dancing here to the Nyan Cat song. Though Pokemon was a pretty popular subject to make MMD videos on, it wouldn't hit its peak until 2015 after the release of Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. So, the question I have right now is what led to this peak of interest in Pokemon MMD videos? Let's go ahead and investigate. I know it's actually pretty late in the video to be, putting on the hat and everything, but this is actually a question that I think I know the answer to. Of course, the first thing to point out is that this peak happened around the time that Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire were brand new games. Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire had released the previous November, so of course there was a lot of excitement behind these games. And they also gave a huge thing for Pokemon MMD creators, in-game models. No longer did creators have to create their own models and hope that it turned out right. Now, they can just import the models from the actual game. That wasn't the only factor, because if it was, Pokemon X and Y would have been the game that preceded the huge spike in popularity. However, looking back at the chart, we see that the peak is after Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. There are two important factors that I think led to this being where the peak happens. Factor number one, May and Brendan were much more recognizable player characters than the X and Y player characters. They have had literally over a decade to imprint themselves into the minds of Pokemon fans. And another huge factor that I think led to the popularity after the release of Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire is Maxie and Archie. These two are literal polar opposites. One, a macho, muscly man, the other one, a nerdy computer genius. Both with entirely different goals. One to create more water, the other one to spread the land. So seeing these two in little skits together was hilarious for people back after the release of Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. Some of the best Pokemon MMDs feature these two dancing with one another or interacting with one another. One could even call it Pokemon postmodernism. Whereas modern art, everything has its place, postmodern art, anything goes. There's nothing held back. Anything can be art. The famous banana taped to a wall, that was postmodernism. Combining totally different media together to create something new can be considered postmodern art. That's why YouTube poops are in this category. MMD videos actually find themselves in this category as well. What you're doing is you're taking models from a video game and combining it with a different source of media that has nothing to do with that video game, be it music, dance, or even a skit. Maxie and Archie pretty much push this concept even further. In the games, they are total opposites, but in these skits, they can be partners.
You're not a doctor, you're that screwy wabbit.
Most MMDs are created by plugging the models into a template of the motions that you want. For example, there's actually a lot of these MMDs using the Backstreet Boys' Everybody song. I will first play the original Everybody MMD by Tuhu. Notice how everyone after that, all the characters are pretty much making the same motions.
Everybody, 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 everybody.
And that's not to say that these that reuse a template are inherently worse than the others. It's just the ones that are going to be on my notable list, I'm not totally sure if these are the originators of the motion template. So some of these might actually be those that are got their models plugged in. And I'm not totally sure which ones are, but these are the ones that I actually remember very fondly when I first discovered Pokemon MMDs. Backstreet Boys Everybody. Seems like there's a lot of these, and as you saw through my little compilation of all of them, there's one probably for every fan base. However, this is one that actually I always thought was really cool. Steven Stone and Xenia singing "Anything You Can Do, I Can Do Better." So Xenia actually has this sort of personality within the games, and it's actually kind of funny seeing her showing off that personality in this video. Get Lucky, featuring Brendan, Lysander, Archie, Maxie, and May. This song's actually really catchy, and it's actually really cool watching all 5 of these models dancing to the song. Brendan and May in the Real World Doctor skit. I think this is a very funny skit, and it's actually pretty entertaining seeing Pokemon characters playing out the part. Pretty much any video where Maxie and Archie are doing some sort of dance duet. These two, like I said, are polar opposites, and it's so hilarious seeing them interact by dancing with each other. But there is one Pokemon MMD that stands above them all, and this one is actually what I would consider the best use of the Pokemon MMD genre. Ladies and gentlemen, the Tenacious D Pick of Destiny Archie Maxie crossover by MrChabry. In the movie, Jack Black and Kyle Gass must look for the Pick of Destiny in order to improve their skills. Maxie takes the place of Jack Black, while as Archie takes the place of Kyle Gass. The movie in itself is pretty funny, and I don't want to really ruin anything in the plot. However, this Pokemon MMD is hilarious because it has the jokes, and it has a lot of playful imagery with Pokemon included. Whereas earlier I was talking about how a lot of Pokemon MMD are built off of templates, there's no way that this can be made off of a template. There are so many detailed actions that the two characters make, and it fits so perfectly. And in terms of other Pokemon MMDs, there's not really anything like it. MrChabry has put so much time and effort into creating a unique experience based off the Tenacious D storylines. One of the funniest moments in this series is when Maxie is praying to the Dio poster. Instead of creating an MMD version of Dio, it is literally the Dio from the movie. The movie itself is rated R, and that is reflected within the series. So if you're a younger viewer or you're squeamish, you might want to pass it. However, this is a very funny series, and if you love Tenacious D, you will love this MrChabry special. Pokemon MMDs actually still seem to be a pretty popular genre on YouTube. However, this peak in popularity was such a great time to be watching Pokemon MMDs. And I actually think Pokemon MMDs are not reaching an end. Something like MrChabry's Tenacious D Maxie Archie crossover could be created in the future with many other Pokemon characters. And I think that would be a very interesting thing to see. But as it stands, I think the Tenacious D crossover is probably the greatest Pokemon MMD project of all time.